Alex, thanks for asking me to do this Sales Guy Unplugged today. What's our topic?
Our topic is the importance of assessing every potential candidate walking in the door.
Gotcha. I get asked that question a lot in terms of how important is it for us to do something, whether it be test candidates, test a sales organization, work with sales managers, work with salespeople. And oftentimes my first reaction is it may not be important. And that might sound kind of strange coming from someone who sells all those products and services. But the reality is, unless there is a significant problem that you have in your hiring practices today, then changing what you're doing may not be an important thing for you. If, however, you have some challenges in your hiring practices relative to the quality of people that you're getting and their success rate, then maybe it's something to consider. And to help make this point, I want to talk about Airline Success. And I don't remember exactly which article I was reading, what I was researching at the time, but the success rate of airlines is pretty phenomenal. Certainly when there is a problem, it makes the headlines, it makes the news, it's always catastrophic and it's heartbreaking, but most of the time they have success. And the reason they have success is they have a scorecard. They have a system. They have a system, they have a process, they have a checklist that they use to make sure of one thing, and that is that they get there. Unfortunately, most companies don't follow that same sort of process or checklist to make sure that their journey of hiring people is one that is successful. In other words, they get the people that they actually want to hire to be successful in their organization. Many of you have probably heard about Six Sigma, and I'm not going to get into a long dialogue about what that means and what it entails, but generally speaking, it's about creating systems or processes that take your organization to a point of zero defects, right? One of the worst hiring practices in industry or service industry is in the insurance business. I came from the life insurance business at National Life Vermont, and the success rate in the first year was roughly 60 to 70%. I know that's a wide range, but that's the range. But after 3 years, it falls drastically off to just 20%. Imagine the cost associated with a fallout rate, a turnover rate of 80%. We talked about the cost of turnover. You could probably calculate the cost of bad hires. So how do we fix that? Well, before I get into how do we fix it, I want you to imagine for a second that you had a system or process that helped you improve your rate of success to a level of 92.5%. Imagine for a second that you had a hobby of either tennis or golf or music or art, whatever it happens to be. And if you followed the right system and process, you had a success rate, a success probability of 92.5%. How often would you make sure that you follow that process? Probably close to 100% of the time. And that's the idea behind assessing people up front. You see, when you use a pre-hire assessment that's not tied to emotion, it's not tied to personal biases, that way you make sure that your candidates are always being asked the same questions the same way, without any emotion, without your interviewer falling in love with the candidate or deciding to ask a question or not ask a question because they think they don't need to. So the idea is to do this. Create your system, regardless of what pre-hire assessment tool that you use. Certainly, we love ours. We think it's the best one in the marketplace. It's been rated the #1 in the world, provided by Objective Management Group. But regardless of which one you use, make sure you use it up front in your process. So as they say in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and there you go. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day.